I just lost 7 pounds in a week, and I didn't starve myself, give up my treats, or even spend hours at the gym to do it. It sounds too good to be true, but here's the thing. I didn't lose 7 pounds of body fat. That would be practically impossible. But what I did lose was 7 pounds that helped me to feel lighter, to look a little bit better, to fit in my clothes a little better. And that's the reason why you need to hear this story. Since May 12th, I've been logging every single calorie that I ate. I record the good, the bad, and sometimes even the ugly. I also weigh myself every day. And since May 12th, it's August 12th now as I'm recording this, I've been able to lose 32 pounds. So I understand what's going on with my body. I understand the calorie. I know the math of it. And where I fall short, AI helps me to understand what's going on behind the scenes. And a couple of weeks ago, I was stuck. I started out at about 240 pounds. I would lose a couple of pounds, gain a couple of pounds. I'd lose them again. I'd gain them again. I knew that the math was right. I knew that I was losing body fat because I was at a consistent calorie deficit. So what was it that caused my weight to stagnate like that? And to be honest, it was really frustrating. I was wondering if I was ever going to push through what I considered to be a plateau, but what was actually just a temporary stall. And it wasn't that I was overeating. It was because there were a lot of things going on in the background that were masking the fat loss and had done so for a few weeks. I was eating higher carb meals. I was eating out a lot, so I had more salt, more carbohydrates in that way. I was giving myself more treats, and I enjoy having my treats. I've had a Coke a day or more every day since I started this diet, but I was starting to let it slip a little bit too far. I was still at a calorie deficit, so I was losing body fat in the background, but my body was holding on to so much water that it was hiding, and the scale was basically lying to me. So I decided that I was going to go for a whoosh. And this isn't some type of trending diet or crazy fasting routine that I went on. It's just what it's called whenever your body releases the water that it's holding on to. You can actually push this to happen. And it's why many people will lose a lot of weight quickly at the beginning of a diet, which is encouraging, but it's not all body fat. There's a lot of water weight that goes away as well. So this past week when I lost 7 pounds, I did not have a perfect week. I still had my Coke or sometimes 2 Cokes a day. I ate out at the Olive Garden. I really enjoyed the things that I enjoyed doing, but I kept them in check. I made sure that I wasn't going too far, and I kept things a little bit tighter when it came to my calories. I didn't feel deprived, but boy was I ever happy whenever the scale started to move, and it moved quickly. You see, all of the carbs and salty food that I was eating were really building up in my body. Every gram of glycogen that is stored in your body, which is sugar, is accompanied by, I think it's 3 or 4 grams of water. So that's a lot of water weight. Plus the salt and everything else that goes along with it. I had even been on prednisone for a few days, and that causes your body to hold on to water as well. It all added up, and for 3 weeks that scale did not budge more than a couple of pounds, but up and down, up and down. It was really frustrating. But when I kept things low for a few days, and it didn't happen right away, but after a few days, the whoosh finally kicked in, and I was able to lose 7 pounds, essentially in just a few days. And I'm making this a couple of days later, and the beauty of it is, I lost a few more pounds. So I'm down at a new low. Does that mean that the weight is never going to come back on again, or that I won't bounce up and down? No, those stalls are going to happen. And I'm going to continue to live my life and enjoy the food that I eat. And sometimes I'm going to have more, sometimes less. But I'm going to maintain that calorie deficit. And that's what's really going to matter in the long run. Because the math works out. When you eat less than what you burn, you naturally lose weight. And since May 12th, I've been steadily losing a couple of pounds a week. And it's working. It's the first thing in my life, in my 58 years as a former fat kid, that has worked for me. And I'm sure that it can work for you as well. So yeah, I'm down 7 pounds, plus a couple more. I feel leaner. I feel lighter. My clothes fit a little bit better, and my face looks a little bit skinnier than it did a week or so ago. To put it simply, I can finally see the fat loss that has been happening all along. And at the age of 58, after years of trying almost every diet that I can possibly imagine, I'm finally losing weight. And it's something that you can do too. Why not follow me on my journey, subscribe, and watch as I continue to go toward my goal of 185 pounds. I have a ways to go to get there, but I'm going to make it. And I look forward to you being there with me when I do. Thanks for watching.